Good morning, Anne Arundel County. Good morning, America. Welcome to Promoting Don't Get Fooled Again with Class. I'm your host, Anthony Bynum. The name of our production company is the Glen Burnie Players. These are exciting times here in Anne Arundel County. First, we're getting a little bit of rain, and we need rain from time to time, right? So that's exciting in its own way. So we want to make a couple of announcements. The first is that episode 8 of Don't Get Fooled Again is currently playing on AAC TV. We're going to let that play for about another week, and then we're going to bring in episode 9. Now, I'm going to go ahead and mention what episode 9 was about. We partnered with the Anne Arundel House of Hope to create a spelling bee, and it was a lot of fun. Spelling bee is a scholastic type of event, but there's some other great characteristics that happen here also. So in about a week, we're going to get that out. We're going to start promoting it more so. I think you're really going to enjoy that. As a matter of fact, if you want to see it now, you can. You just have to go to @AnthonyBynum1948 and just scroll down to episode 9, and you'll see it there. Okay. As far as this week's show is concerned, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start off by screen sharing. So let's go ahead and do that first. Very good. Field Marshal Bernard Law Montgomery. Now, he was born 11/17, 1887. He died 3/24, 1976. They called him Monty. Next to Winston Churchill, he is arguably the second most important Englishman of the 20th century. Now, he fought in 3 wars. He fought in World War I, which was the world's first mechanized war. Yes, everyone knows about the horrors of the Civil War, and there are other wars that, a lot of death and destruction, but never before with tanks and planes. That was a sign of things to come, a very scary sign of things to come. Then he fought in the Irish War of Independence. This is guerrilla warfare, street to street, building to building. You don't know who your friends are in that environment. And then, of course, there's World War II. More destruction than mankind has ever seen. Now, he essentially was a hero of the African campaign. You see, the German army hadn't really planned on being in Northern Africa. They really hadn't. But due to certain events, they felt they needed to be in Northern Africa. And they fought with the British, pitched battles, going back and forth and back and forth. It's quite a story. I have it in a documentary, War of the Worlds. It covers the whole thing. But there was a place called El Alamein, and that's where the English would hold their last stand. And it was, General Montgomery who was brought in to lead that stand. From there, the battle of the war changed, and the German army eventually was pushed out of Northern Africa. And from there, the Americans took over the essentially the western part. Now, everyone that was still fighting, of course, the English were vitally important, and anybody else, the French were still involved, but essentially became the American war at that point. We kind of called the shots with Eisenhower, et cetera, et cetera. But this guy, Monty, tough as nails. You see pictures of him, you can tell he probably wasn't a very big man, 5'5", 5'6", something like that, but he's tough as nails, boy. Tough as nails. All right, I'm going to do a quick switch here because we're going to need to do a little screen sharing in a moment, so bear with me. And one more time. And now we're going to stop sharing. And we're going to move on to our next segment. So at this point, we want to talk about something of consequence in Anne Arundel County. I've known of this location, for this institution rather, for some time, but it's never really been on my radar. But it is now. Now that I've looked into it a little more closely, it is now. Let's go to the screen share. Push the button here and push the button here. All right. The Chesapeake Art Center. This is a private nonprofit community arts center that has over 50,000 visits a year. People come in to see events, lots of events, lots of partnerships. I had no idea until I took a look at that website. There are multiple programs that include, these are just touch the iceberg, tip the iceberg, so to speak. Stories of art in the galleries, the Maryland Theater Collectors, the Maryland Concert Series, and there's a ton more. It's a ton more. They do a lot of things. They have a budget of about $1.5 million. So this is big money. A lot of talented people get together and lend their talents to develop everybody. They develop the young, but they help the older too. Like I said, they're on my radar now. There's a concert, a play/concert that I'm going to check out. And once I see it, I'm going to report it right here on promoting Don't Get Fooled Again with Class. Now, the center opened in 2001 to serve both Northern Anne Arundel County and also the Southern Baltimore community. And they do a great job. And I'm going to tell you how great a job they do because I'm going there. All right, we're going to stop sharing. And we're going to go on to the last piece here. It's a piece of poetry. It's made available from the Poetry Foundation. I don't know if I said it in the beginning, but we get our information from Wikipedia and this week, the Poetry Foundation. Now, this poem, it can be interpreted a little darkly, but some of the prose are done nicely here. Now, since Monty was a warrior, I wanted to have something about peace. This isn't exactly about peace, but it is exactly about things we all care about. I find no peace, and again, it was written by Sir Thomas Wyatt. I find no peace, and all my war is done. I fear and hope, I burn and freeze like ice. I fly above the wind, yet I cannot arise. And not I have, and all the world I seize on, that looseth nor locketh, holdeth me in prison, and holdeth me not, yet can I escape no wise. Nor letteth me live, nor die at my device. And yet of death it giveth me occasion. Without eyen I see, and without tongue I plain. I desire to perish, and yet I ask help. I love another, and thus I hate myself. I feed me in sorrow, and laugh at all my pain. Likewise, displeases me both life and death. A mighty light is causer of this strife. Now, these are the words of Sir Thomas Wyatt, not the words of Anthony Bynum, because we know the words of Anthony Bynum are about optimism and positivity here in Anne Arundel County. So just to recap, we have some beautiful things going on here in Anne Arundel County. We have episode 8 is currently playing on AAC TV. Next week, I'm going to bring out episode 9. We have a couple other little things going on too, which we'll share with you at the right time. So for everyone here at the Glen Burnie Players, my name again is Anthony Bynum. Until next time, bye-bye.